Hi there, Cancer. It's Viv from Wisdom Released. I am doing a reading for the next couple of weeks that take you through from the 15th of June through to the end of the month, the 30th. I'm going to be doing a slightly different reading than what I have been doing. I'm using Lo Scarabeo Tarot, which is a new deck to me. And I'm actually going to be pulling a reading in the form of a beetle, so with the head and the legs and the body. And I'm doing it that way because the spread is like it's a symbol of life and hope and transformation, and it helps you to clarify whatever challenge that you're facing. So I thought that might be cool to do for the next couple of weeks or so. So here we are, messages for Cancer. I have shuffled already off camera. I'll shuffle a little bit more. Messages for Cancer from the 15th to the 30th of June 2018. I generally don't read the cards in the reverse, but I notice with this deck that they are particularly jumpy. So we'll see if something comes out upside down in the reverse. There we go, let me cut the deck. Number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, just out of interest, we have the, I don't know whether you can see it, the Ace of Cups. So, the first card, which is this one, the King of Wands. Now this represents what you want. And the King of Wands this is representing direction and action. To me as well, it's like taking inspired action and really being on top of things. I mean, the direction there as well, it's kind of like knowing which way you want to go. He's pointing in a direction, but he's very he's not very wishy-washy at all, is he, the King of Wands? The King of Wands really, he really knows what he's about. He's top of his game, and there's no confusion, there's no procrastination at all. It's just like, right, we're doing this, we're going in that direction, and we're doing it now. The next card, number 2, so is the right foreleg of the beetle. This represents what it is that you need. So the first card was what you want, and the second card is what you need. And what you need here is the clarity that the sun brings. So there's clarity around, because the guy here, the figure here, is holding a sword of truth, but he's also holding a red flag. So to me, this is what you need is to be really truthful with yourself, really truthful, maybe truthful with another person. If you're connecting with another person, is to be aware of any red flags, anything that they say, anything that they do that gives you cause for concern. It's not necessarily, they're only going to become a problem if you ignore them. right, if you let them go and you don't tackle them. But what you need, I think, is to have your eyes wide open, and everybody has their, nobody's perfect, are they? You know, everybody has their thing, and just as long as you're aware of them and you can deal with them openly and honestly, and you're not attacking anybody for them, you know, that if you speak to somebody about these red flags, that you're doing it from a place of love and compassion. So this is what you need. It's clarity, to speak truthfully and honestly, but to be aware of the red flags. That's what this is saying to me. So the head, number 3, is what you need to know. And this is information that you may have consciously or unconsciously overlooked. And this is the Knight of Swords. This is represented by the Knight of Swords. So there may have been some information that's come to you in the past. Perhaps it's because swords is to do with thinking. So maybe this is a way of thinking of somebody that you're dealing with that you're disregarding, or you're thinking, oh, that doesn't matter. Here we go. Pay attention to the red flags. Or maybe this is a message from your own intuition. This is maybe your own thoughts that have come to you, that you're disregarding. Maybe you're doubting their validity. So what is it that you've thought about this situation, this person? Maybe what is it that you've thought about yourself that you're doubting or you're disregarding? The next card is the left leg, and this is what works against you. And this is the Four of Swords. So what's working against you over the next couple of weeks is taking too much rest. So it's like inaction. You know, there's lots of meditation here, or the card is suggesting meditation and resting and not taking action. This is to me, if you're waiting, then this is what's working against you. What are you waiting for? The chap here in the picture, he's holding one red rose and a white rose. It's like he's meditating on the outcome. But I think he's already, he already knows the answer. The truth has already struck. I think maybe there's a bit of waiting going on here, where you're hoping that the outcome might be different, but this is working against you. What's working for you, what's in your favour, is this fabulous card, which is the Tower here. So this is change. It could be, look at this massive eye in the sky there. This is insight, this is clarity, which is changing everything. It's kind of like, maybe it's destroying previous ideas that you've had about yourself, or your situation, your circumstances. Maybe forces outside of your control are actively changing your situation and your circumstances. Maybe something's happened that has forced you to question what you believe about yourself and what you're capable of. And this is really rocking your world. This is a massive shake-up. It could be the breakup of a relationship, not necessarily a romantic relationship. It could be a business partnership, or it could be the breakup of some thinking that you've had about yourself. But this is, the insight that comes with this card. This is what is working in your favour. This is the change is good. The transformation is a good thing. What should you abandon? Which is this card here. And this card, I really quite like it when it comes up in a read, because to me this is all about limitation. This chap is sat right in the middle of his a tiny little castle that he's built for himself, and there's no room, there's no freedom. He's looking up. He's not looking at the four walls or anything, but he's looking up, and beyond these four walls. But these walls that he's built are of his own making. If he stood up, he could easily stride over them and go beyond any limits, these limits that he's created for himself, these walls that he's built for himself. It's fairly easy, but he's holding on to this sense of security that he's built for himself. And this is what you should abandon. This is asking you to get clear, to see where you're limiting yourself, and to go beyond that. What should you embrace is the next one, which is this, the Three of Wands. So what you should embrace, I think, are new horizons, is looking beyond what you think is possible. There's a fire happening in the foreground here, and this to me is sort of like, it's not, the person's not that close or anything, it's not representing any danger, it's not even keeping him warm or kind of serving any purpose like cooking anything. It's just, there's just some burning going on there. There are bags of coins and, there's wealth in the background here, behind him here. So he's in, whether he sees it or not, whether he realises it or not, he's in a very stable position, but I think there's some, burning of old ways, of old beliefs that could go on here, that creates sort of like a clearance. And that clearance, once the smoke clears, broadens your horizons, and you see what else is possible. So the next card is the Aggressor's Path. So this is action that you could take. So this is, if you wanted to, and if this resonates with you, then you could do this. You could get to work and start on a project, or start newly on a relationship. It's getting your head down and getting on with it anyway. So the figure here is uncovering these pentacles. Well, uncovering. He's creating something new, and he's honing his skills with these pentacles. and he's working hard. He's putting in the time and the dedication. So you could buckle down and get on with this. Or the believer's path, if you prefer to wait and see what the universe brings you, is the High Priestess card. So you could wait and leave it up to the universe to reveal to you what's been hidden. So this is a card of intuition. It's a very reflective card. The High Priestess here is looking into the mirror and looking deeply at herself. But it's sort of like it is going within and connecting with your intuition and your wisdom. But it's sort of like the opposite, really, of the clarity card. I think you already have clarity, or maybe clarity will come from reflecting, doing some deep reflection, and these things in time over the next couple of weeks will be revealed to you. So Cancer, I hope you found that of use. I think it's a really interesting read. I've really enjoyed experimenting with it. I hope it's helped you connect with your inner wisdom, and I'll be back at the beginning of July to do another reading for you for the first half of July. So thanks very much and take care until then.